frankly spoken, I think it will still take some time. Some time might be, if you ask me, 2 to 3 to 4 years. When you look at, especially, talking about the German market at the moment, where I have, let's say, most details available. When you look at banks like Eurohyper at the moment struggling, Commerzbank now agreed on a restructuring plan with the European Commission, which means on the one hand side, you have a lot of politics in there at the moment as well, coming from the EU, coming from the local governments, especially concerning the Landesbanks. Westimo, my former employer, was for sale. It was impossible to sell a small, good, well-existing bank, no problems, but the funding was one of the major and key issues here. So Eurohyper was not sellable at all with a much, much bigger balance sheet. So now they decided more or less that Commerzbank has a balance sheet at the moment of 670 billion. They have to shrink it below 600, which more or less is Eurohyper. So the Eurohyper brand is said probably to vanish from the market completely. And as long as you have such problems with such a big real estate bank in the market, the market cannot fully recover. Besides that, you have the Landesbanks. You have LBBW, you have the Bayern LBs, which are also still suffering, where the local governments still have a huge amount of money as equity in there, which they want to have it back, and they need it back, because otherwise the European Commission still have these banks under their supervision, saying what they have to do. And this all limits the local banks, besides the fact that they have their shareholders like Hellerbar. Hellerbar is owned by 85% by the local saving banks. And these local saving banks, they do not want to see a Hellerbar becoming very active in crazy markets. Because what they appreciated in the past, and that's why Hellerbar never had a problem, they were conservative. They were, let's say, just active in a few markets, but they fully understood these markets. And this is why I'll expect from local politics as well from the international politics, besides the fact that Basel III is also coming ahead that all these things will still, let's say, squeeze the banks from different sides so that the banks cannot fully recover and will not return to normality. The question is, was it normal what the banks did in 2006, 2007? That's the other question But somewhere in between I think it will still take some 2 to 3 years, most likely.
But that's the European banks. But what we are seeing from the US, they see an opportunity here. There's a lot of money in the US. The banks in the US seem to be stable. And there's a lot of money beginning to come into Europe. And as the margins increase, because it must be immensely profitable for you to finance at the moment. And when there's a lot of profit to be made, someone will step in, and that will probably be quicker than some of us think. And the German banks will then not be the dominant force anymore, it will be the US.
It could be, but how many US banks are completely free in their decisions at the moment, are not under, let's say, state supervisory or whatever other kind of regulations?
It might be the Blackstones or the Goldman Sachs or whatever. They create vehicles.
There is one discussion at the moment ongoing, which is what role will the insurance companies play on the lending market in future. In America, they are partly dominating this market, especially when it comes to investment loans. That's what we saw in the past, and that's what you see today again here. I know that here in the UK, you have a lot of insurance companies being active in their home market. You see this now also in Germany. Here with Allianz, for example, you see some of the pension funds, bigger pension funds, becoming more and more active as lenders. But frankly spoken, what kind of share will they have in the market in the future, as they are just concentrating on core assets, on very big tickets? Allianz financed the Deutsche Bank headquarters in Frankfurt. Yes, come on. This is a plain vanilla, no-brainer deal. You could do it between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So which role will they play in future? They will try to play a significant role, but I think what they are all underestimating at the moment is the administration work which is behind such kind of loans. And you do it on 10, 15-year basis. But what about if the investor comes in 5 years' time saying, okay, now I'd like some changes on my loan documentation? How flexible will they be? Will they have the management capacities, handle these things? These are very big question marks for me at the moment. Competition today, fantastic. Margins, fantastic. But future, question mark.